At the request of Committee Chair and Education Speaker Judy Wampat, Governor Eddie Calvo met with senators Thursday morning in a closed-door meeting to address their questions and concerns. Interestingly enough, Calvo's spokesperson Troy Torres says senators already knew the answers.
What we found was ironic was that many of the senators in the room knew exactly about the Tiyan issue because they were the ones who initiated and saw it through to almost the very end.
Torres says with John F. Kennedy High School returned to their Upper Tumon school, Gov Guam had no use for the Tiyan facility, which Calvo hoped to end ties with. That is, until lawmakers stepped in back in 2011.
Within the 120-day period, the legislature snuck in a rider into the Public Law 31-76 that authorized the governor to go to the bond market for tax refunds. Remember, that was a very important piece of legislation to the governor. And we believe that they did this because they knew that the governor would not veto the bill just because of that provision, even though the governor at that time wanted to terminate the lease with CoreTech.
The rider that made it into the tax refund law defined the Tiyan lease as the contract between CoreTech and Gov Guam, and for the first time ever, Torres says, codified CoreTech by recognizing the lease to purchase option, that tax credits could be used for an educational facility, and that these credits could only be used as payment for CoreTech. Immediately after, Torres says Onsalon Middle School was in need of an interim campus with their facilities shut down by public health. Because of this, Gov Guam negotiated an amendment to the lease to purchase option and removed the termination clause because CoreTech's investment in collateral equipment for the school.
A few months later, the legislature made another amendment, another rider into a bill that they knew that we wanted passed, and this is the rider that named the actual 3 lots that were purchased, and that didn't come from us.
Included in the specified lots was the Guam International Airport Authority property being leased rent-free to CoreTech as part of the land exchange agreement. Torres speculates this could have been the loophole for legislators who sidestepped the competitive bidding process and the General Services Agency as the procurement authority.
If there is any sweetheart deal that happened here, I think you need to look at these riders that happen in the authorization of the lots and the naming of the company.
As for what's next, Torres says they're looking for other means to fund the purchase to keep from financing it full term. Should Gov Guam stretch the payments, the cost of Tiyan with insurance and maintenance totals $160 million. Meanwhile, the Central High School is anticipated to open doors starting school year 2014-2015. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.